Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques, we are here, folks.
Yes, sir.
Them LA Chargers are coming to town.
LA,
exactly. Hey, it might be like 10 people at the game, though.
Maybe
right?
5. I wouldn't even count 10. He's doing them a good service, bro.
Exactly, dude.
Everybody's not finna go to this game. It might rain,
man.
It's cold.
That's right. I mean, the Chargers fans in LA are averaging like 25,000 fans a game. That's like going to a Middle Tennessee State game.
Did you see the last game when they played the Steelers? How many Steelers fans?
Yeah,
bro?
man.
It was worse than us.
It was, man.
It was worse than us.
It was, man. And our fans want to come to the games, man. Like, we have a lot of fans that support the Titans.
Shoot, I'm there.
You are a season ticket holder.
I'm a season ticket holder.
And I go to a good amount of games every year, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, it's just been such a bad product on the field. Mm-hmm. So,
it's frustrating as a season ticket holder, man.
Yeah, man.
To sit there and watch just a product on the field that's just mediocre, man.
Yeah.
It makes you rethink. Like, hey, I'm a PSL holder, and this is what y'all doing.
Exactly. And the players understand that too.
Yes.
But it's not just a Titans thing. It's a worldwide thing in the NFL, man. It's a lot of teams. When their teams don't do well, just like 2 weeks ago when I went to go see them play the Atlanta Falcons. It was about half and half. It was a lot of Titans fans there. It was a lot of empty seats, literally. Because the Atlanta Falcons are a bad team.
Trash.
But the Chargers, they don't have fans, period.
Right.
Yep.
Based out of Inglewood, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to market that in L.A.
Yeah, two
and
teams.
You got, the Rams, who's the most popular team.
Right.
And then you're going to put them in Inglewood, which Inglewood is but, they just don't have a market for it. Look what happened to San Diego.
Right.
Like you said, they need to move. They should have moved to Idaho or Montana or move to Canada, man. You'll gain a fan base there.
Exactly. Toronto Chargers or something.
They don't have it, man.
And like you had told me earlier before the show, maybe London, right?
Yeah, London.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sure there's a lot of fans of Chargers out there in the LA, San Diego area, man. But
I feel like them and the Jags are the two teams that usually travel the most to London.
Seems like
so it could be something that the NFL is trying to play on where, hey, we're trying to test these teams out to see how they do. Right. I don't know. If you play the NFL, you think you want to live in London?
Man, I don't know, man.
And going back and forth.
Yeah, probably not,
USA,
man. Probably not.
That's time zone, that jet lag, that trying to play football in London and go around playing in California. You have to come to Tennessee. Think about it, man.
Yeah, that's right. Probably not. Probably not.
I don't want to do it, man.
So the Chargers, man, they came back from last week and lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. If you watch the game, you can clearly see, man, they gave the Steelers the game, man. The Chargers did everything possible to lose the football game.
They went up 21-0 on them at one point in time.
Man.
With a backup quarterback. That's third string.
Yeah, absolutely. Made him look like Ben Roethlisberger out there, right? But surprisingly, the LA Chargers have had a pretty good defense this year, man. They're rated number 5 in defense, man. I'm just like, wow. The Chargers?
Without
not 5 in pass defense, 7 overall in defense.
Right. And that's without Derwin James.
Right, exactly. Their best defensive player.
Safety, man. He's a hell of a safety, dude.
They
got Derwin James and Waterley. Ackley Waterley, however you pronounce his name. But I was real high on him when he came out the draft, man. So, you're right. To be 7th in defense, which is sneakily good.
It is. I mean, they got good players on defense. I mean, you got Joey Bosa. You got Melvin Ingram. You got Thomas Davis. And when I watched the game against the Chargers, Thomas Davis was everybody, right?
He
mean, the whole team didn't tackle well at all. We'll talk about that later.
Got Casey Hayward.
Yeah, exactly. From Vanderbilt, right. From Nashville here. Denzel Perriman. I mean, they got players. And Desmond King. Who rated very well last year as one of the best corners in the league.
Remember, I was high on him, too, when he was coming out the draft, man, from Iowa. I'm like, Desmond. So, they, like you said, defensively, they have a good defense, man.
Kind of like us, right? A much better defense versus their offense.
We're built the same.
Right, we are, man.
We are built the same. Like, these last couple of teams that we've played, we've built
the same.
Exactly.
So their pass defense is number 5 overall in the league, as I mentioned earlier. But, their rush defense is at 22, and we're going to talk about that because I think that's where we can challenge them, Jacques.
Rush 22, run 22.
Exactly, man.
So, Ho.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this. You gave 3 reasons why we can lose last week.
Yes, sir.
Give me 3 reasons why we can win this week.
Thank you kindly, sir. First of all, our offensive line has been playing terrible for the past 2 years. That's facts. Mm-hmm. And I think the linemen know that. But if the offensive line could just get their act together for this particular game, we will win this football game.
I agree.
Why? The LA Chargers are not a good tackling football team. They can cover pretty well. But, on the inside and the outside, I mean, they made James Conner look like Herschel Walker. These boys cannot tackle. If the offensive line could just hold front, block the folks in front of them, and run Derrick Henry. I've been saying it all season to run them. It just hadn't happened because the O-line ain't playing good. Right. If they could just hold front, you can run against the Chargers.
They call them bumpy Chargers. It's like they're bumpy.
Exactly, right. Exactly. That's all they do. They don't tackle well. Right. So that's my first point. Second, pressure Phillip Rivers, okay? Phillip Rivers has always been consistently throwing picks when you pressure him. He gets real shaky in the pocket. His feet starts to move, and he'll just start throwing the ball. And what's so weird about Phillip Rivers, he's 6'5", but a lot of times when he throws the football, it gets tipped a lot. A lot of his picks are from tips, right? So you can pressure this man and make him throw errant throws. Because one thing, the Chargers don't have a lot of offensive weapons. They don't have a lot of speed on the outside. No. So I think with our defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL, I honestly think that we can do a great job in pressuring Phillip Rivers. And if we do, we win the football game.
I agree.
Last, we got to watch out for Hunter Henry. Now, a lot of people might not know who he is. Hunter Henry's been hurt over the last 2 or 3 years, man. Yes. But when healthy, Hunter Henry can catch the football. There's a lot of tight ends in the league that don't do well, but the Tennessee Titans have had a hard time with really good or decent tight ends. Even when I went to the Falcons game, their tight end, Austin Hooper, who was very similar to Hunter Henry, had a great game. Hunter Henry against the Steelers had 100 yards. He led the team in receiving. So watch out for Hunter Henry. He down the middle, that's kind of where we have our struggles. I think that's going to be someone we need to really watch. If we keep him cool, we'll win the football game, man. Gotcha. Definitely. So Jacques, let's look at the other side of this.
Right.
So give us the reasons as to why we could possibly lose to the LA Chargers.
Reason number one, O-line. Okay, so we know the O-line has been struggling all year. Okay, we know this. And we make mediocre defensive linemen look like all-stars. Okay, we did it with the Broncos, which they got a decent defensive line. I'm not going to call them top 10. We know the Bills got a top 5 defensive line. We made the Colts look like a top 5 defensive line. So if the O-line can't get it together, which I'm hoping they do, it's going to be a long day. 5, 6 sacks. Ryan Tannehill going to be running like a madman trying to get it together. So, no. Offensive line, the O-line doesn't play and block at the point of attack. If they don't have a good game, we're losing this game.
Yes, sir.
Point 2, Tannehill. Bro, if he doesn't provide a spark, if he doesn't go out there and start to move the ball like he was last week, we got cut for time last week, so he had to kind of make a split decision. But he was moving the ball good. But if he doesn't keep that same consistency moving the ball downfield, we're going to be stagnant again, 7 points. Maybe even 3 points, maybe. But we had played a goose egg last week. So that's point 2. Point 3, defensively, we got to stop Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon already said, hey, give me the ball more. If you give me the ball more, we're going to win. And if you let Gordon run wild, which we have in past,
yes, we have.
And we've lost the game, then we're going to lose the game. You have to contain Melvin Gordon. If you can't contain Melvin Gordon, we're going to lose the game. Those are my 3 points.
Yes, sir.
But like I said, Tannehill, you have to do it, bro. You have to do it.
Yes, sir.
So those are my 3 points of why we can lose the game. So, but let me ask you this, Hawk.
Okay.
So, who scares you?
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon, okay.
In many of our shows, I've talked about running backs like Melvin Gordon gives those problems. I always mention him as one of those running backs.
Right.
A guy that can run the ball and can catch the football.
You do.
As you stated earlier, Melvin Gordon has stated now, like, he needs the football, right? He wants more carries. He didn't get a lot of carries last week again. He had his contract holdout. Him and Austin Eckler both have been sharing a lot of time on the field. We know Melvin Gordon is much better than Austin Eckler. Eckler's a good ball player, but he's not Melvin Gordon.
Right.
He scares me.
Okay.
He does.
Okay.
Because there isn't a running back that we played yet that has this dynamic. Yes. We really haven't played a really good Marlon Mack for the Colts, pretty decent. Leonard Fournette, but they're not Melvin Gordon.
Right.
And so you have a pissed off Melvin Gordon who plays on an offense that don't have a lot of weapons. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, they're okay, but they don't scare me, right? Melvin Gordon, we got to be careful for him, okay? Right. And then you got to look at Ken Wisenhunt as their offensive coordinator, the former head coach for the Titans. So he knows his defense. Right. So he knows he can put Melvin Gordon in position to do good things. And even you mentioned this before the show. They even got Quisenberry, an offensive lineman that played with us just 3 weeks ago. So there's a lot of intermingling between the Titans and the Chargers, and so they could put him in position to do some things, man. Right. So what about for you, man?
So the whole Chargers defensive line scares me.
Okay.
And the reason why is because our offensive line hasn't played to anything.
They haven't.
So right now, that mediocre defensive line can turn into a top 5 defensive line when you play the Titans. If I was playing the Titans and I was a defensive lineman, I would be rubbing my hands right now. Hey, marking this game, that's a 3-sack performance for me. I'm getting my stats. I'm getting my bonus. You know what I'm saying? But until the offensive line can prove it to me and the fans that they can block, defensive line scare me, dog.
That's facts, bro.
They scare me. Like, they literally scare me. Like, this is one thing of the game that scares me. And they don't have anybody that's really prolific that can just rush the passer besides maybe Melvin Ingram and Bosa.
Right. Yeah.
And Bosa scares me, too.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of the whole defensive line.
And it's really based on our O-line.
Our O-line, exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy,
O-line, which O-line want to show up? You want to show up the O-line from 2 or 3 years ago or the O-line that showed up last week?
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right, bro. That's right.
Just saying.
So, Jacques, speaking of the Titans, who do you think could have a big game for the Tennessee Titans versus the Chargers?
Tannehill.
No.
Okay. So I think Tannehill. I'm hoping Tannehill.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm thinking Tannehill because it's a fresh start for him. You have weapons. You have way better weapons than you had in Miami. You have a run game. The offensive line. If the offensive line can block, and Tannehill can sit back there and pick you apart. He's thrown for 4,000 yards in years past. He just can't stay healthy. That's his problem. If he can stay healthy, he's cool. But if need be, we need that spark. If we can't get that spark going, Tannehill, we done. Tannehill has to be the spark. Tannehill has to get us over the hump. And I feel like if he does, he'll have a big game. And I think he'll have a big game. If the offensive line, it's the key catalyst here is the offensive line.
Yes, sir.
If the offensive line can block, Tannehill's gonna have a big game. What about you?
So this might sound weird.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say the rookie Jeffrey Simmons, man.
Man.
You know what I mean? So his first NFL game, I've heard him talk. He feels like he has a lot to prove. Now the Chargers surprisingly have the 4th best pass offense in the league. But what you don't know is they're rated number 27 in run offense. Okay? So they kind of topsy-turvy, right? Great passing offense, terrible run offense. Exactly.
Right.
So when you look at linemen like Trent Scott, Dan Feeney, Sam Tevi, okay? Who are these dudes?
Right.
Who?
Right.
So Jeffrey Simmons is doing the Birdman right now. He's like, okay, all right. I think that they're not going to know really what to do. I think he's going to be really hyped. Right. I think this is an opportunity, man, to go in there, cause havoc, because they're going to try to run Melvin Gordon. Right. And I think if we stop him, he'll be one of the main reasons why. And surprisingly, the Tennessee Titans' run defense has been sort of average. We've been at 15th overall in the league. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So I think he could provide that spark on defense. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be for Jeffrey Simmons.
And to piggyback off of that, what happens with that, it creates that space eater. So if anybody understands what a space eater is, he just takes up space. Like, remember, Alvin Haynesworth was a space eater, but at the same time, he was a beast. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So what that does is you put Jeffrey Simmons right there. That opens up lanes for Casey, Cameron Wade, Harold Landry, Sharif Finch. You can swap him out with Daquan Jones, but I think hopefully Jeffrey will be better than Daquan. I like Daquan, don't get me wrong.
Yes, sir.
But I feel like Simmons is more of a wild player, and we need that scrappy, wild player that's on defense that's going to penetrate. So what that creates double teams. It creates some double teams on the inside. Okay, we got one-on-one on the outside. Cameron Waite's a beast. Harold Landry's a beast. You got Casey to the right of you. Just imagine that. That's a scary defensive line, man.
That is.
And that's a scary defensive line. So imagine just if he comes out the first couple series and he stops the run and he gets a sack, dude, that's our spark. That's a spark for the whole team.
It is.
Because that gives you a dynamic on defense where we got more pass rushers. It shows up our secondary, which is like a top 5 secondary, where, that's a rush sack. Or that's a cover sack. That's a rush sack. You see what I'm saying?
That's right, man.
So all of a sudden, that opens up a little bit for our offense. And something that I've noticed that they said on defense, and I want to say Dory alluded to this.
Okay.
And I think, I want to say Byard alluded to this too. On defense, they have a different mentality on defense and offense. On defense, Byard gets the interception, but Carl's like, hey, I want one. Or Dory's like, I want one. Harold Landry gets a sack. Hey, here come Wade, man. I got to get me one. Casey, I got to get me one. You can see it on the field.
Yes, sir.
You can see that brotherhood. You can see that camaraderie. On offense, it's not there.
No.
Offense is like they're trying to find it. But I'm going to tell you one person that does have that on offense, and you can agree,
yes,
fans
sir.
agree. A.J. Brown.
Yes, sir.
A.J. Brown has a swag.
He does.
He plays with confidence. Did you see what he did? Was it Chris Harris when he got that offensive pass interference? I think it was Chris Harris. It was one of the DB. He slung him like a rag doll.
Exactly, he did.
He slung him, caught the ball in that rack after yards. Was ridiculous.
Ridiculous, as it always is for him.
Ridiculous. Now, you would think, okay, Henry is going to be that beast, that swag. If Henry had a little bit more swag to him and know that he can knock somebody in the mouth, even though she's doing it now.
Right.
But you just that same energy has to match that it does on defense. Put that on offense. Hey, A.J. Brown just got 2 catches. I'm Corey Davis. Oh, no. I need 2. Humphries, I need 2. Henry, I need about 5, 10, 15 yards. If you come with that purpose and you bring that dynamic together, because people, we don't have a bad team.
Right, we really don't, man.
We don't have a bad team.
Underperforming, man.
It's just underperforming. This is the most frustrating thing about being a Titans fan right now. We can say in years past, yes, we've had mediocre teams. Our teams have been sorry. So we know, okay, they're trash. Okay, we get it. We're trying to rebuild. We're trying to get to being great. John Robinson has built this team to win, and he wants to win now.
Yeah.
And we just missing that one piece.
Agreed.
Well, we're missing 2 pieces. Offensive line got a block, and we missing a quarterback. And hopefully this puts some fire on the Mariota, and Mariota like, look, I want my job back.
Right, exactly. I think that's the main reason why this is happening, too. I mean, Vrabel spoke about that today, and I felt that even before he said that. Right. I was like, this is not a long-lasting solution here. Because, again, we said even on our last show, Ryan Tannehill is not the solution, okay? No. But you bring him in this case. Right. And the way Mariota has been playing, and I'm rooting for Mariota. I hope he can change it and do what he needs to do. And, I don't know if you saw at the end of the game, A.J. Brown went to hug Marcus Mariota. He was tearful. And so you got to look at, they support Mariota. They want him to do well. Right. We want him to do well, right? He's the second pick of the draft. Right. So that's an investment that we want to do well on the field. But he hasn't been. And so it's like, right now, take you a seat, relax, drink your Coke, look at the plays, see what you need to do. Because sometimes you learn better by just sitting back and watching, right? And so allow things to happen. Kind of see how things materialize on the field because he has never done that since he's been a rookie. He's been the starter, right?
In high school, maybe.
Exactly right. He has not been on the bench at all. Right. So this is the first time he's ever been benched. Right. So this is a good opportunity for him to kind of sit back and then looking at the Chargers defense. Look to say like players like Michael Davis, the corner on the Chargers, who hasn't really been tested all season.
He got good size.
Right?
He got
good size. He got good size. Right.
Yeah,
But maybe you can see on the bench, like, man, they're not really throwing on 43 side, man. So if I get out there, I'm gonna test this guy, right? Those are the things you have to look at. So I think that this Ryan Tannehill experiment, man, will just kind of work temporarily. He gets the football out, and I just think that with playing the Chargers, Tannehill will have an opportunity to get the ball out if our offensive linemen block, and we can actually see, is our quarterback the issue or is it our offensive line, man? We'll definitely see that against the Chargers, man, definitely. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our show, folks. Thanks again, as always, for tuning in. We appreciate the subscribers, as always.
And like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment. Keep the comments, man. We love the comments. We love the interaction with the fans. We at 341. Let's get to 400.
Let's get to it.
Share the video, man. We love the support. We get support from everybody,
man.
That's
right,
so
man.
We love it. And we got a special surprise coming in the next couple of weeks. So just be looking on the lookout for that.
Absolutely.
We got it, man. Tighten up.
Tighten up, man. And as well, you can check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly.
Let's get those subs up on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Man.
Let's get them up, man.
Get them up.
And then on Twitter as well, Titans Weekly 24/7. As well, you can check us out. You can email us at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com. We're easy to be found, folks. Yes, sir.
We're out.
Let's do it. Chargers, tighten up.
Tighten up.
Boo.